Welcome to WEBN General News. I'm Emily Champagne.
And I'm Chloe Fadum. Let's get into today's stories.
Mayor Michelle Wu is making a push to reinvent Faneuil Hall Marketplace, meeting with urban planning experts this week to craft a new vision for the iconic but struggling downtown destination. The city's planning chief said the marketplace has lost its relevance and appeal for Bostonians, carrying an estimated $45 million in deferred maintenance. The property's current landlord, J. Safra Real Estate, says it is prepared to invest in capital projects but is seeking an extension of its ground lease with the city in return. Wu wants a clear community-backed vision before moving forward.
2 Air Canada pilots were killed last night after a collision between their flight and a fire truck on the runway at LaGuardia Airport in New York.
Yes, it was an aviation disaster, the likes of which we have not seen here in over 3 decades. But it's a deeply human story where 2 young pilots left their homes expecting to return to their families, and they will not.
More than 40 of the passengers, crew members, and aircraft rescue and firefighting personnel were hospitalized due to the crash. LaGuardia was officially closed until 2 o'clock this afternoon, but announced that travelers should still expect delays and cancellations ahead of their flights.
As the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran enters its 4th week, President Trump is weighing his most consequential decision yet, whether to send American ground troops into Iran. Trump has been reviewing options in near daily briefings with top military officials, including the possibility of retrieving the enriched uranium buried under rubble at bombed nuclear sites. But even some Republican allies are urging him to declare victory and pull back.
President Donald Trump has announced that he will postpone strikes on Iran's power plants, citing productive talks. This comes just before his 48-hour deadline was set to expire.
We were planning tomorrow on shooting down some of their power plants, and we're going to hold that up. Hopefully we won't have to do it, and hopefully we can make a deal that's good for all of us.
The president ordered the country to fully reopen the Strait of Hormuz, threatening to hit and obliterate Iranian power plants if the demand was not met. Iran fired back on multiple fronts, with missiles striking 2 southern Israeli cities near the country's main nuclear research center. Additionally, Iran's IRGC warned the strait would be completely closed if the administration followed through.
The Trump administration escalated its war with Harvard Friday, filing a new lawsuit alleging the school violated the Civil Rights Act by failing to protect Jewish and Israeli students from discrimination and asking a federal judge to halt more than $2.6 billion in existing federal grants. It's the second Justice Department lawsuit against Harvard in just over a month, coming as settlement talks have stalled and Trump has demanded $1 billion from the university. Harvard called the suit pretextual and retaliatory, saying that it will fight back in court.
With more news in politics, we head now to our politics correspondent, Lorena Rivera.
Thank you, Chloe. In an attempt to speed up the TSA lines at airports, White House Border Czar Tom Homan announced that ICE agents will deploy to airports across the country. ICE agents will assist TSA officers with security at airport entrances and exits where the waiting time has been longer in recent weeks. The measure comes after lawmakers in the Senate failed to reach an agreement to fund DHS, prompting TSA officers to quit after going weeks unpaid. Political campaigns have been shaken up in the past months by the use of AI. This raises concerns that voters could be confused or misled in the upcoming 2026 midterm elections. As part of his gubernatorial campaign, Republican primary candidate Ryan Shortsleeve created an AI-generated video of Governor Maura Hawley, using her voice to say things she never actually said. According to the National Conference of State Legislatures, 26 states have law regulating the use of political deepfakes and require their disclosure or prohibit their use close to election times. Funding for the Department of Homeland Security has once again been denied after Democrats failed to vote on a funding bill. Democrats insist on reforms of immigration and customs enforcement and customs and border protection in exchange for the funding the agency. With many TSA officers quitting due to being unpaid, lawmakers on both sides are feeling the pressure to make a deal. The bill put forward on Friday needed 60 votes and fell short 47 to 37. That's all I have for political news. Back to you at the desk.
Spring is in the air, but a bit more snow is expected before the temperatures really start to turn. Some rain and snow hit Boston and all of Massachusetts earlier today before turning back into an icy mix. This weather is expected to continue through the night before the temperatures go back up into the 40s.
Coming up, we have all you need to know about the Red Sox opening day.
And find out about the latest movie to rock the box office.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back to WEBN General News.
Baseball season is almost here with the first games of the 2026 regular season starting on Wednesday, March 25th. The Red Sox will take on the Cincinnati Reds Thursday, March 26th for their first game of the season with pitcher Garrett Crochet in the lineup. They will then play the Houston Astros before making their way to Boston for their first home series game on Friday, April 3rd against the San Diego Padres.
March Madness is down to the Sweet 16 after a wild round of 32 this weekend. The big upsets of the day would have to include St. John's knocking out Kansas, Tennessee hanging on against Virginia, and Iowa edging out defending champions Florida in a thriller. Meanwhile, Iowa State, UConn, Alabama, and Arizona all advanced. While no perfect brackets remain, the Sweet 16 tips off this Thursday.
The police body cam footage of Justin Timberlake's 2024 DWI arrest have officially been released. A settlement took place in the Sag Harbor Village Police Department in New York this past week, resulting in a redacted version of the footage. Timberlake was arrested on a DWI charge after leaving a restaurant in June of 2024. He was initially charged with 1 count of driving while intoxicated and 2 citations for running a stop sign and failing to keep his car in 1 lane. In September of 2024, Timberlake took a plea deal, pleading guilty to a lesser offense.
Ryan Gosling's Project Hail Mary blasted off this weekend with an $80 million domestic opening, the biggest of the year so far and a new record for Amazon MGM.
It felt like it had all of the makings to be one of those core memory movies that we grew up with, one of those sort of films that you remember where you were when you saw it.
The sci-fi epic, directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, follows Gosling's character who wakes up alone and with little memory aboard a spaceship on a mission to save the sun. The film earned rave reviews and a near-perfect audience score, with more than half of ticket sales coming from premium large format screens.
Spectators from all over the world gathered in Sala, Finland this past weekend for Sala's annual reindeer race. An estimated 1,000 people attended this year's competition despite the chilly temperatures. The race consisted of reindeers pulling their handlers along snow-covered tracks, and the fastest one to complete the course won. The premier event of the Cup, called the Hot Series, is a half-mile track that the reindeer must complete in 1 minute and 19 seconds to qualify. Reindeer racing has been a part of Sala's history since the early 1950s and continues to be a large part of their culture today.
That's all the news that we have for you tonight.
For more, make sure to check out our YouTube channel or our website, WEBN.TV. We'll see you next week.